Let me tell you something that most people will never tell you, but it's the truth you need to hear. You are working harder for someone else's dream than you are for your own. You wake up every morning, you grind, you hustle, you give your energy, your time and your heart to someone else's vision, and yet you wonder why your life hasn't changed. Here's the hard truth. The reason you feel stuck, the reason you feel invisible, the reason you feel like the world is moving past you is because you haven't invested enough in the most important asset you will ever own, yourself. Jim Rohn once said, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, harder on your habits than your paycheck, harder on your values than your goals." Think about that for a moment. Every dollar you earn, every promotion you chase, every achievement you celebrate is meaningless if you are not growing, if you are not evolving, if you are not becoming the kind of person who can handle greater responsibility, greater challenges, and greater success. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine a young man named David. He works a 9-to-5 job. He comes home exhausted, watches TV, scrolls through social media, and goes to bed. Month after month, year after year, he gets the occasional raise, a pat on the back, maybe a promotion, but deep down, he feels empty. He wonders why, despite working so hard, he isn't living the life he dreamed about as a child. Then, one day, David decided to invest in himself. He started waking up earlier, reading books on personal development, studying new skills, attending seminars, listening to motivational speeches. He began applying what he learned. Slowly, the man who once felt stuck started seeing change. His confidence grew. Opportunities came knocking. His mindset shifted from scarcity to abundance. His life, in every measurable way, transformed. Do you see the difference? One person works for money. One person works for growth. One works for someone else. The other works for themselves. And that is the secret that almost nobody talks about. Now let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you working harder for your own dream or for someone else's? Not just with your time, but with your mind, your energy, your habits, and your beliefs. Are you investing in yourself the way you invest in your job? Because let me tell you something, you can't outwork fate if you don't first outwork yourself. Most people spend their lives chasing paychecks, climbing corporate ladders, and collecting titles. And while there is nothing wrong with ambition, ambition without growth is dangerous. You can climb the ladder, but if the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, all your hard work takes you nowhere. Your job is a tool, not a life plan. Your paycheck is a resource, not a reward. And your comfort zone, that silent little cage you've built for yourself, is the real enemy. It whispers to you, stay where you are, don't push too hard, don't dream too big. But here's the truth. Every great life, every extraordinary achievement, every success story begins when someone decided to stop listening to comfort and start listening to potential. Think about the people you admire, the innovators, the leaders, the creators, the game changers. Do you think they got there by working harder for someone else's dream? No. They worked harder on themselves than anyone else. They read when others were scrolling. They practiced when others were sleeping. They invested in their minds, their skills, and their character when nobody was watching. And that is why they were unstoppable. I want you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. Where are you spending your energy? Where are you investing your time? Are you growing as fast as your ambition demands? Or are you merely drifting, hoping life will hand you success because you clock in on time? Let me share another story. There was a young woman named Maria. She was working at a company she didn't like. Her bosses didn't appreciate her. Her paycheck barely covered her bills, and yet she felt trapped. One evening, she decided to stop blaming her job and start investing in herself. She took online courses, networked with mentors, and pushed herself outside her comfort zone. Fast forward 3 years, Maria didn't just get a better job. She created her own business. A business that not only paid her well, but gave her freedom, purpose, and respect. All because she worked harder on herself than she did on her job. Do you see the pattern? It's not luck. It's not timing. It's not about who you know. It's about who you become. Because when you invest in yourself, the world can't help but notice. Opportunities start appearing, doors begin opening, and your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. And here's the kicker. Growth is not convenient. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable, painful, and often lonely. You will face setbacks. You will feel exhausted. You will question whether it's worth it. But the truth is, nothing worthwhile is easy. Nothing extraordinary is achieved without sacrifice. And your greatest investment, yourself, will always demand your best. So here's my challenge to you. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Read a book that expands your mind. Learn a skill that stretches your abilities. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Step out of your comfort zone, push past the fear that tells you to settle. Because every hour you spend improving yourself is an hour that compounds, an hour that builds your future, an hour that no one can ever take away from you. Now, let's talk about habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They silently shape your destiny, whether you realize it or not. And yet, most people spend more time perfecting their social media profile than perfecting their habits. Think about it. Every habit you nurture, every routine you practice, is a vote for the person you are becoming. Are you voting for growth, or are you voting for stagnation? Let's go back to David and Maria. David began waking up an hour earlier every day. He read, he reflected, he set goals. Maria invested in learning new skills, even when her friends thought she was wasting time. Neither of them saw immediate results. But slowly, those tiny, consistent actions built momentum. Momentum that could not be stopped. Momentum that transformed ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. And here's a reality you need to hear. The world rewards those who improve themselves, not those who complain about their circumstances. You can't out-earn, out-network, or out-chance someone who has spent years outworking themselves from the inside out. Your character, your skills, your mindset. These are the currencies of real success. Let me ask you another question. What are you doing to sharpen your mind today? Are you learning something new? Are you practicing a skill that will pay dividends for the rest of your life? Or are you waiting for opportunity to knock, hoping that luck will come and hand you your dream? Let's return to Maria. She didn't just improve her skills, she transformed her mindset. She learned to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and setbacks as redirection. She stopped blaming others and took full responsibility for her life. That shift in perspective made all the difference. And that, my friend, is what working harder on yourself truly means. Changing from the inside out. And here's the harsh reality. If you continue doing what you're doing now, nothing will change. Your paycheck might increase, your title might improve, but your life will remain the same because you haven't transformed yourself. Now, imagine a different path. Imagine investing your time, your energy, your focus into becoming the best version of yourself. Imagine waking up each day with purpose, learning something new, applying what you learn, and taking deliberate actions toward your goals. Imagine the doors that will open, the confidence you will gain, and the life that will unfold when you become unstoppable from the inside out. Ask yourself this: are you willing to do the work that nobody sees to achieve results that everyone will admire? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for growth, distraction for focus, fear for courage? Because every great life is built on countless unseen efforts, on relentless persistence, on hard work done when nobody is watching. And finally, remember this: your greatest competition is yourself. Don't measure your progress against others. Don't chase someone else's dream. Don't let comparison steal your purpose. Measure your growth by the distance between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Because when you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, when you outgrow your comfort zone, when you sharpen your mind, your habits, and your character, you become unstoppable. And that, my friend, is the key to a life of freedom, fulfillment, and true success. Now, let's confront a truth most people refuse to face. Indecision is a decision. Every time you hesitate, every time you postpone, every time you wait for the right moment, you are making a choice. The choice to stay where you are, to remain small, to let life pass you by. Think about that for a moment. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers simply because you couldn't make a decision? How many doors remained closed because you feared failure, judgment, or discomfort? Indecision costs more than time. It costs potential, growth, and your future. Consider the story of Jonathan. Jonathan had an idea for a business, something he was truly passionate about. But he waited. He waited for funding. He waited for the perfect conditions. He waited for approval from others. Years passed. His friends who acted decisively, who risked failure, who embraced discomfort, passed him by. Opportunities don't wait. Life doesn't wait. And by the time Jonathan finally acted, the moment had gone, leaving him with regret instead of results. And here's the lesson: action beats perfection every time. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to have all the resources. You don't need everyone to agree. What you need is courage. What you need is commitment. What you need is the willingness to take the first step, no matter how small, toward the life you dream of. Let me ask you this: are you waiting for the perfect moment, or are you creating it? Because life favors those who act, not those who hesitate. The world rewards the doers, the risk-takers, the relentless souls who refuse to be stopped by fear. Time is your most valuable resource, yet most people waste it every day. They spend hours on distractions, scrolling endlessly through social media, consuming content that does nothing to improve their lives. They complain about their circumstances while doing nothing to change them. Let me be clear: if you are not working harder on yourself than you do on your job, every minute you waste is a step backward. Here's another example. Consider Sarah, a young woman who spent years waiting for the perfect opportunity to start her dream career. She watched her peers take action, take risks, and grow while she remained stagnant. Eventually, Sarah realized that the perfect opportunity would never come to her. She had to create it. Once she did, once she committed to taking consistent, purposeful action, everything changed. Her life, her confidence, her income, her impact, all transformed. You see, success doesn't come to the cautious. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't knock politely on your door. Success comes to those who chase it relentlessly, who take bold action, and who refuse to settle for mediocrity. And here's where the truth stings. Comfort and indecision are your greatest enemies. Every time you choose comfort over courage, every time you choose hesitation over action, you are signing a contract to remain small. You are choosing the life you have over the life you're afraid to build. Your habits define your future, your decisions define your destiny, and your growth defines your life. If you are not growing, you are stagnating. If you are not acting, you are falling behind. If you are not investing in yourself, you are choosing mediocrity over greatness. I want you to take a moment now and picture your ideal life. The life where you are confident, skilled, unstoppable. The life where you wake up excited every morning, knowing you are creating, learning, and growing. That life is possible, but only if you are willing to do the work. So here is your call to action, and I want you to take it seriously. Decide today that you will work harder on yourself than on your job. Identify one habit or skill that will compound your growth, and commit to it daily. Take one bold action this week that moves you closer to your dreams. Eliminate distractions and toxic influences that keep you from becoming your best self. Reflect daily on your growth, your progress, and your next step forward. No more waiting, no more excuses. Your future self is counting on you. The world will notice your commitment. Opportunities will appear when you are ready to receive them. And most importantly, you will finally become the person capable of achieving the life you were meant to live. And remember this, the most successful people are not the ones with the best jobs or the biggest paychecks. They are the ones who worked tirelessly on themselves, who invested in their habits, their knowledge, and their mindset. They became the kind of person who could handle extraordinary success. So today, make the decision. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Push past fear, discomfort, and doubt. Invest in your skills, your mindset, and your character. Commit to the relentless pursuit of growth, no matter how hard, no matter how long, and no matter how lonely it feels. Because one day, you will look back and realize that every moment of effort, every decision to act, every sacrifice you made was worth it. You will be proud, unstoppable, and fulfilled, and the life you always dreamed of will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality. So take that first step today. Commit fully, act relentlessly, and become the person who doesn't just chase dreams, but lives them. Your time is now. Your life is now. Your greatness is waiting, but only if you are willing to become it.